Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we've got a fascinating topic that really gets into a massive friction point in tech.
Yeah, that gap between having the great idea and actually knowing if you can build it.
Exactly. The gap between the what and the how. We're looking at the convergence of product management, the strategy and project management, which is all about execution.
And it's a convergence that, frankly, is long overdue.
And what's driving it, according to our sources, is this really specific duo, a digital consulting service called Monetical, paired with Google's Gemini 3.0 Pro.
Right. And the whole idea behind it is this strategy they call shift left.
Okay, let's unpack that. What is shift left?
So think about a normal project timeline. The big hard questions, risk, budget, scheduling, that heavy lifting usually happens somewhere in the middle, after the product manager has already sold the vision.
Which is always the bottleneck, right? You get everyone excited, and then you have to wait 3 weeks for engineering to come back and say it'll take 2 years and $1 million.
Precisely. Shift left is about moving that reality check to day one. The sources argue that with Monetical and Gemini working together, a product manager can figure out the how and when at the exact same moment they're defining the what and why.
So you're not just handing off a document anymore, you're handing off a plan that's already been sort of pressure tested.
That's it. The sources are calling it enhanced executive autonomy. You can independently simulate the trade-offs between scope, schedule, and budget on your own.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics. How do these two tools actually divide the labor? Monetical and Gemini.
It's a great question. Think of it like an architect and a really, really fast builder. Monetical is the architect. It's the ecosystem that provides the instructions, the guidance, and the knowledge.
So it takes your big strategic goal, like increase market share, and filters it down.
Yeah, it filters it into industry-specific OKRs and even a baseline feature backlog. And this is the key part. Monetical gives you the step-by-step guidance on how to actually create the application to meet those goals.
So Monetical is the brain. It makes sure you're building the right thing and tells you how to get there.
It stops you from building a bad strategy, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Then Gemini 3.0 Pro is the engine that executes those instructions instantly.
And we need to be clear here, this isn't just a chatbot. The Gemini 3.0 Pro that dropped November 18th, 2025, has a very specific environment.
Yes. Inside Google AI Studio, there's something they call build mode. The sources are calling it a prompt-to-app workflow.
The vibe coding engine, I think, was the nickname.
That's the one. And what's different is the user experience. You just type in natural language, something like create a dashboard to track the OKRs Monetical just gave me.
And it doesn't just spit out code.
No, it generates a fully functional web app. And the crucial part is the live preview. The screen literally splits. You see the code on one side, and on the other, an interactive application you can click on and test.
So if a button doesn't work, I don't have to go digging through React components myself.
You just talk to it. You type in the chat, that calculation is wrong, fix it. Or now add a risk and issues log based on this backlog. The code and the preview update in real time.
Wow. So the product manager is basically simulating the entire project scoping, budgeting, risk assessment before a single engineer is even assigned.
That's the executive autonomy we were talking about. You walk into a meeting with a working prototype and a data-backed risk log, not just a sketch on a napkin.
It forces a level of data-driven decision-making right at the very start.
It does. But there's a flip side to this, right? If the product manager is doing the strategy, the risk, and building the prototype, aren't we just creating a bottleneck in one person?
That's a fair point. The sources actually take a pretty strong stance on this. They don't see it as overload. They see it as automation of all the administrative junk.
And they make a really bold prediction from it.
The extinction event, essentially. Yeah. The argument is that if this trend continues, the role of a dedicated project manager might just disappear. It becomes a set of automated tasks, scheduling, tracking, reporting that the product manager handles through these tools.
So project management becomes a skill set, but not a job title.
It just merges completely into product management. It's incredibly efficient, but it definitely changes the career path for a lot of people.
That is a lot to chew on. It seems the bar for what a minimum viable product is just got raised significantly.
An idea isn't enough anymore. You need the mechanics and the math to back it up.
Well, we'll leave you with a final thought from the research. If the tools can build the app and manage the schedule, what is the one truly human skill left that's impossible to automate in that workflow? Thank you so much for tuning in and exploring with us today.